And here we are. It just kept harassing me. YouTube literally kept harassing me until we watched it. So this is a video from Nexpo. So Nexpo, if you ever see this react, just know that YouTube is literally telling me to watch you, almost forcing me to watch you. And I've seen a few of your videos before. That's probably why. And I'm a fan. They're great. But yeah, we're gonna watch this one. I've never seen this one before, but it keeps showing up. It looks interesting. And it's got RPG Maker down here in the description. So down here, RPG Maker. So already sounds interesting. So let's go ahead. And I'm already intrigued here with Kanye, right? Kanye West. Okay. Oh wait. Whoops. Wow. Guys should have jumped on telling me that the couldn't fucking hear, boys. Okay, here we go.
Kanye Quest. A simple RPG.
Quest.
An outlandish story.
Yo, I think I remember this. I think I remember seeing this game.
Conspiracies. How the hell did this happen? It was July 22nd of 2013. A simple indie game emerges on RPG Maker by
I remember this.
Phoenix to surprisingly critical acclaim. Vice, Giant Bomb, Genius, Kotaku, even Video Game Donkey jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, I remember seeing those fucking videos.
A massive success. But, of course, what else would you expect from a video game featuring Kanye West? Even more so, a game surrounding
this figure was supposed to be like that one game.
To take down an evil clone of rapper Lil B to
Shut Up and Jam Gaiden
to this futuristic
right?
dystopia.
Just like a silly RPG Maker
and tens of thousands
with rappers
of people flocked to download it to try their hand at this new indie masterpiece. But
right?
Unfortunately, not all would fall to plan. As a matter of fact, Kanye Quest was hiding something. Something dark, disturbing, and insanely complex, eventually leading players down a rabbit hole full of cold recruitments, bizarre websites, nonsensical social media, and hidden source code. Even stranger, this all went unfounded.
What? Wait, what? Hidden source code? It's a fucking RPG Maker, man. What? From the looks of it, it's what? 2013 RPG Maker? What was it? VX? Was it VX Ace at that time? It was fucking just JavaScript. You can't really hide shit. Like, RPG Makers are literally the easiest games to break into. I don't know about hidden source code. You know what I'm saying? It's not really hidden. At least I don't think so. Alright.
Years. Welcome back to Console Conspiracies.
Console Conspiracies. Does he have a whole series? I haven't seen it. Oh, maybe we should watch more. Console Conspiracies, alright.
So, 2013. Charming game comes out. You play as Kanye West, and it involves a wormhole that sends you spiraling from the year 2010 to 3030. In Pokemon random encounter-like style, you fight various NPCs using a turn-based rap battle mechanic.
Well,
that
yeah,
was destined to appeal to rap culture and RPG fans
fucking
alike.
RPG Maker. That's
Throughout
all
the
you
game,
can fucking
there are
do.
terminals that direct you where to go, what to do, etc. and these are scattered all over the place by what the game calls the Base God Task Force.
Ooh, Base God.
Now,
Base God.
Who are they? Basically, the United States in 3030 is run by an evil clone of rapper Lil B, who's employed a task force to guard him. Said group has recently gone against his will and has begun to control the population through militaristic force. Throughout the game, your goal is to venture through the city, fighting the evil rapper clones in order to banish Lil B from the helm and restore the true Base God order to the nation.
You see, it's like, you know, it was written as fiction, this shit. But with the way things are going, I could see this happening. Wait a minute. Right? Lil B, Base God, can still fucking take over the world. Boys, I don't know if... So I'm taking a step here, because I'm Googling Lil B. I don't know if I'm just Googling this at the right... I don't know, maybe not the right time, but Google has given me back his latest tweets, and I can't even fucking show them to you. I don't... Thanks, Google. I appreciate, though. I appreciate the artistry in Lil B. You know, the ladies with the I Heart Lil B signs. Good to know he's still thriving. Base God. Good for him. Good for him. Thriving in this world at this time. Good job. You really are the Base God.
Oh, and it's all apparently a dream. In 2013.
Oh, it's the dream.
Simple
Oh,
stuff.
that's disappointing.
Anyway, the game is admittedly pretty cool, and the player base reflected that. Having exploded in online popularity during the time of its release, a lot of eyes were on it. Unfortunately, though, little did pretty much everybody but one single person know that this game was hiding a sinister secret.
Yeah, of course it was.
Let's take a look at the trailer.
Why wouldn't you put it in a fucking Kanye game? Oh. Does it have some dope remixes in it? I'm pretty sure they didn't use the actual real songs. That would be fucking silly. Oh, there we go. Almost immediately. Oh, there it is. Illuminati.
Pastebin.com. 2 years later, in January of 2015, an anonymous user would post an entire information dump about their personal discoveries in Kanye Quest. This so-called innocent RPG couldn't have been further from just that. So they explain. This morning, I played Kanye Quest for the first time in forever. I never played past maybe 5 minutes of it the first time before quitting for 2 years, so I decided to really sit down and play it. In the game, there are
Homeboy dug it up after 2 years?
That tell you how to play, tell you your current task, tell you to praise Lil B, etc. In the first future area of the game, Bay Area 3030, you can walk into an abandoned building and find a trashed based information system. It's semi-comprehensible, but the majority of its letters in the messages are swapped with periods and backslashes. They then show the aforementioned message
Okay.
that appears to read as follows. Based information systems.
Yo, what? There's... What? Based information. Okay, with obviously there's some Morse code there, right? Like, you have to kind of be an idiot to look at that and be like, there's no Morse code. There's nothing going on there. Like, that's just silly. I need to turn this down just a little tiny bit more.
Ascend and worship the based god.
Right.
Sure, at first glance, it may seem like nothing more than the result of this machine being trashed, but soon, we'll find this proves to be a bit darker. Anon continues. Later on, you meet a base god task force cultist in the street who randomly asks you, "What do you want to do?" You're given a 6 blank space prompts where you can put in any character. For shits and giggles, I put in
Ooh.
Ascend.
Yeah. Wait, why? Why Ascend?
And little did they know,
Is that a Kanye West
this would
thing?
be the beginning of a shitstorm. Kanye Quest, from this point forward, would begin to twist and mold into only a shell of its former self.
What?
You are now a butterfly. The color scheme is now grayscale, and the cheery musical tones from the vanilla game are gone, replaced by the creepy ambience of ringing bells, sharp piano hits, and eerie voice clips.
What? Ugh. Is that the actual music? That's fucking terrifying. What the hell? Why? 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 What?
In a labyrinth.
Congratulations. You've proven yourself to be an open-minded and curious thinker. You must have
I don't know about that.
deceiving you.
I just found a thing and I put a word into it.
This point is a front, constructed to protect what you are currently accessing. We must ask that you do not reveal this area to the public. If you believe that you may be
Ooh. Huh?
information,
That rule was fucking broken.
please close
Don't tell anybody in the public.
Pressing Alt F4 or selecting the No option when it appears. By selecting the Yes option, you agree to participate and not reveal information. The following is a thought exercise designed to help teach you something beneficial. By undertaking this exercise, you will hopefully be affected in a positive way. Due to the nature of the exercise, this something cannot be revealed immediately. This exercise may or may not be restricted to the software. It is important to remember that the purpose of this exercise is to benefit you. You will not be timed. We cannot provide any more information, except that we wish you good luck. You may now begin. Welcome to your ascension.
The only way to go from this point forward is by entering 8-character passwords. A lot of them. Clues to the answers are nowhere to be found though, so you have no other way to go but south. When heading in that direction, you end up reaching a large, interconnected area with a black and white mural that, when screen capped and stitched together, results in a QR code that redirects you to a website called q4i.co/.
Ugh, that.
The link is dead.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that fucking link is down. Do you see that link? Fuck is it? q4i.co? Don't go there. That's like some shit that someone trying to steal your fucking password sends you, being like, yo, your Google password is expired. Please go here and put your password. Put your password in here, and we'll fix your account. And it's like, yeah, good. It's down. I can only imagine what it actually was.
FM.
Like no good, no good.
At this point, with nowhere else to go, and without any leads to go off of, a Anon decided it was time to take their efforts out of game. He eventually gets into contact with the aforementioned dev named Phoenix and inquires on this strange discovery. Guy's only response to me is that it wasn't his game at all. Eventually,
What?
we end up diving into the game files and data mined a few of the passwords that are required to progress. Jagatai, Petuns, and Ian to be exact. All seemingly random and out of place. Curious, he Googled them and encountered something notable. A 72-page unfiction investigation covering an ominous YouTube video that involves something that we're quickly becoming very familiar with. A subject curiously titled Ascensionism.
Ascensionism.
An operation that was unknowingly unfolding before him was in the process of decrypting codes, contacting an Ascension hotline, and piecing together symbolism that all seemingly stemmed from one eerily enigmatic video that's since been wiped from the internet. But I digress. Clearly, Ascensionism as a whole was quickly rising to the forefront in this mystery. But before
Fuck is
there's
Ascensionism?
something I want to show you. It seems, at least to me, that the rabbit hole that you and I are venturing into involves some sort of cult.
Oh
But
no.
let's not get ahead of ourselves. Anon's got passwords to find.
What kind of cult?
Reading further into that thread revealed more clues that they used to progress through Kanye Quest. As it turns out, there are 34 of these locked segments that you're tasked with cracking. As you do, your screen becomes darker and darker until it's completely black. At least, until you complete what the game calls your ascension.
Right. Got those classic RPG sounds. RPG Maker sounds.
Once you complete the tasks outlined before you, you're thrust into an all-white room with a single terminal. In here, you initiate a battle with an enemy cryptically called JFZZ JNMS. This fight ends immediately. Afterwards, you're left with no other option than to quit or interact with the sole remaining terminal. And so they do.
What? Micropia. What the fuck?
You have proven your worth once again. You have ascended. However, further ascension is always possible. If you do not wish to ascend further, your journey ends here. So please close this program by pressing Alt F4 or selecting the No option above. By selecting the Yes option, you agree to participate further and you grant us permission to interact with your possessions. Would you like to participate?
No.
Why? Of course.
Yeah.
Over
Yeah.
the following 2-week time period, we will interact with you and your possessions in several ways. Keep an eye out, as some of these ways may be subtle, others may not be. We may attempt to contact you directly. If we do this, we will attempt to notify you of our presence using a keyword. If you still consent to participation, please select the Yes option above. Do you wish to participate?
Absolutely.
You crazy dude. Oh, okay, he's blanking it out. Good. I hope he's not putting in his real information. That seems bad. Like, legitimately, like, you shouldn't fucking do that. Like, at all.
Enjoy the next 2 weeks and await instruction.
Yo, are these guys gonna fucking die?
And then you wait. And wait.
Yeah.
And wait. Oh, yeah, by the way, that voice you've been hearing? That's from a YouTuber by the name of Mama Max.
Yeah.
AKA someone that's also dug into this mystery.
Obviously.
Insanely good
Yeah, I've watched some Mama Max videos. There's none we can watch on fucking Twitch though. Let me tell you boys. Can't watch his fucking videos on here. I don't even know if we can watch this on here. Fuck it. Fuck them.
I mean, right, Max? You're good, right?
Don't worry about it. You'll see.
Let me get banned. Okay, dude.
Shortly after Kanye Quest went live, RPG Maker took it down, and links to obtain the only remaining original copy stemmed from the dev's own Tumblr page. The only problem? It was hidden behind a password.
Of course it was.
Rumors have spread that the original copy somehow held the potential to connect to the internet without the user's consent, and that the information that's requested from you is actually sent off to a cult.
I don't know.
But this was only the beginning.
I have my doubts. I don't there's no way, right?
It's also
And
right here.
So there's a way, and I don't know if anyone's looked into this, but you can try to figure out where the fuck, if it was actually trying to do this or not. Where like you can, even if you can't like get into the code and see like, oh well, is it trying to hit an endpoint? Like what the fuck is it trying to do? Is it trying to submit some data somewhere? I mean, you can use something like Surfshark, right? And you can watch all the packets being sent in and out of your computer, and you know, if the second you do that, if there's nothing, I mean you can see if it's even attempting to connect to something. So I wonder if anyone has ever done that, to see like if it's actually trying to send something, or if it's just legitimately fake. I mean, it could just be fake. It could just be an ARG, not a pirate, an ARG, an alternate reality game. But who knows? Could very easily be one. Very easily. Very.
Official record label. Why was it there? Why was this simple RPG so wrapped up with an arc that involved digging through hidden codes, sending off your personal information, and joining some sort of secretive real-life organization? While it's currently unclear, the ties are stark, and it seems that this so-called Ascension cult that the game appears to be tied to might be hiding something a bit darker. Diving into the cult,
Yeah, maybe.
where things become grim.
Or maybe fucking not.
Ascensionism is a New Age cult that goes back to at least 2006. Its main beliefs focus around there being
2006.
two spirits that make up a whole being.
Okay.
A physical spirit, the body, and an ethereal spirit, the soul. Long story short, souls live lifetime after lifetime until they reach a point where they are judged by themselves after a death, and, upon deciding they have been sufficiently good, destroy themselves and become primordial soul stuffs from which new souls form. Now, I'm not entirely sure what primordial soul stuffs means, but if I'm following him correctly,
Yeah,
then
who
at that
does?
point, our souls are believed to live infinitely, being passed through generation after generation until the time finally comes. Judgment Day.
Judgment Day. Uh-oh.
Death.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
On a lighter note, in a tangentially related blogspot post dated at June of 2009, a cult member by the name of Trevor Wozniak metaphorically explains the meaning
Trevor
of
Wozniak.
death and how it's perceived by an Ascensionist.
The Woz?
The actual definition of an Ascensionist is
Connection?
a completed amount in a sense, usually a notable one. The use of this word in this blog refers to having a mindset that's always optimistic, willing
Yeah.
to embrace everything and take it head on. It requires that you take reality out of perspective and focus on what you want. The concept of mind over matter applies greatly here. Do not say, "I think I can do it." Say, "I am doing," as if to remove all self-doubt. Be the first to reach the top of these metaphorical mountains. Now this doesn't seem very dark or sinister. According to him at least, the central principle of what it means to be an ascensionist essentially stems from the results of your prior actions, resembling the climb of a mountain. But, as with anything that is or might seem entirely good in nature, this too can swing in the other direction. The other side of their coin of beliefs centers on the principle that anything negative done to any person was agreed upon by their prior self. In other words, you deserve anything bad that happens to you because somewhere in a prior generation, you asked for it. Now that we have a grasp on the belief system, let's resume our investigation, specifically on the portion that involved the threat from nonfiction, because it had clues. A ton of them. The mystery that they were being sent down had coincidentally initiated investigation just 2 months prior to Kanye Quest going live, containing a plethora of codes, cryptic images, and a mysterious Ascensionism phone number, all stemming from one YouTube video. It seemed as if their hands were full within their own investigation.
Sure.
To some, it began to appear that this was all a pre-planned phenomenon. However, those associated with Ascensionism's alleged official record label would claim otherwise. Within this rabbit hole, another fellow YouTuber by the name of Psychotrip was spearheading an investigation of his own.
Psychotrip, huh?
One of the major breakthroughs that he encountered in this was that of a simple Twitter page with the handle Ascend Today, supposedly being the official profile for the record label. Scrolling through their archive of tweets presents us with a myriad of nonsensical phrasing and disturbing symbolism, and it was believed
Yeah,
that this was
of
either
course.
an officially run account or simply a tool that was playing into that unfiction mystery. Psychotrip followed them, and less than a minute later, they followed back.
Decided to follow them on Twitter for whatever reason. So I thought, oh, I'm not following Ascend Today. That's the name of their Twitter handle.
You fucking crazy dude.
Start talking about Kanye Quest again. Let's see. Within seconds, they followed me back. Within less than a minute, they
That's probably a
followed
bot.
me. As far as I know, this is the first time they've actually broken character per se and spoken to anyone in a normal-ish way.
That seems like a bot.
Turns out
Like,
that he was
that
having a
fast?
conversation with them, but interestingly, it wouldn't end up revealing as much as he thought, as they denied any sort of involvement in this odd mystery. Frustration ensued. However, this didn't stop Psychotrip in his efforts. It seemed that whatever, or whoever that was running this account, was trying to keep their image clean in order to brand themselves into a legitimate record label. But this begs the question, why use the same imagery associated with the cult? Why the same name? Regardless, in the vast sea of the internet, other Ascensionism resources would appear at our disposal. A website, their Tumblr, the record label's website, a YouTube page, and a blogspot. Now what do all of these have in common? A man.
What the hell was that?
knows this entire time. More specifically, a man by the name of Nick Lyons. More on him shortly.
Okay.
In my research, I stumbled upon a Reddit post by a user named Shrinkmen. They were explaining the mystery to r/ARG and began inquiring on various aspects of it. Midway down, they included an update with a notable bit of information. Updates on Ascensionism records since Kanye Quest. 1. They have created a new game, Calypso, that can be downloaded from their website. Again, there's very little information on this game on the web, and it doesn't seem like anyone's figured out the message of it.
So they made a second game?
Interest was piqued. A new game
Even
for our Ascensionist friends is undoubtedly something that I'd have great pleasure digging into. While I've managed to get my hands on a copy, even after it's been taken down, I'd like to hand the rest of this segment over to someone that I believe could explain it better than I could, because this gets weird. Max, I'll let you take this one.
Calypso. This archived relic weathered the flow of time and made its way to me courtesy of previous investigators. Downloading and unzipping the files reveals but one folder, called Calypso version 0.01. It's been rumored that many more versions were planned, but according to even the tightest circles,
many more additions to the game. Was planned, but we're shitty developers.
solitary executable.
Or maybe the
program
ARG died.
simultaneously bricks your computer and starts
Fucking knows.
live streaming to God only knows where. It then reads your IP address and begins doxing your location to nearby Ascensionists to come kidnap you. Your computer will then start playing music that hypnotizes you to punch yourself in the face until you're knocked out cold, so you can't resist when they come snatch you up.
Wait, what? Snatch you up?
It doesn't do any of that.
Yeah, okay, dude.
It's completely safe.
Yeah.
Running the program brings you to a standard main menu with options to start, load, open settings, and quit.
It's just another fucking RPG Maker game.
RPG Maker layout overlooking the female character
Yeah.
island of mazes.
It's just RPG Maker, man.
Interactive.
That's all it is.
The objective of the game is to perform the duties given to you at the top of the screen. The instructions are romantically written in nonsensical sentences, as well as the dialogue between you and the other characters. Most of the duties include simple tasks such as touching an object or opening a door. Whenever you successfully perform a task, you are given money which you can then use to buy what is known as an Ascension package level in-game.
What?
These seem to do nothing but make you more money every time you perform a task.
Okay.
As far as I can tell, you can keep doing this infinitely with no effect to the game world. After some exploring, you'll wind up finding some new items, characters, and areas, but not much, if anything, is even remotely interesting about them. You'll receive a new few lines of dialogue that will repeat infinitely and nothing more. Dipping into the game files confirm that there seems to be no end game or even any secrets. Allegedly, this project was abandoned soon after it was released to the public. There's really only one piece of interest with Calypso, and that's the voicemails. In-game, you have access to a telephone, in which voicemails will progressively start to appear in your inbox. These voicemails happen to be real-life recorded phone calls made to the Ascend hotline when it was active.
This is a circus. You know I'm still in there.
What the fuck, dude?
Send me a message. You got my email. Send.
Hi, this is Reginald. Please call me back at... Thank you. Bye.
Where the fuck did they get these?
Snowless Bravo, White Storm. Snowless Charlie, White Storm.
Yo, what idiots called into a line and left a message? Oh yeah, what's this? This is an Ascension hotline? Yeah, I want to ascend. Yes, I do. I want to ascend. Y'all call? Oh, no one's answering. I'll leave a message with all of my fucking contact information.
You know, there is behind.
See, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt and think that they aren't real people, and that's actually part of the arc as well.
If there's one thing,
Because that makes a lot of sense to me.
the voicemails lead us to the conclusion that there are people out there that bear great interest in becoming an Ascensionist.
Also, it took 3 years
Questions
for them to make another game.
don't exactly sound like they're running thin. This is a real-world operation, but before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take a step back. Were Kanye Quest, this unfiction mystery, the various websites, and Calypso really some wild tools put in place for this Ascensionism cult?
Sure.
Was this simply something that was riding on their backs? Throughout this investigation, we've seen a name. Nick Lyons.
Nick Lyons.
But who is he?
Lion Nick.
Nick Lyons is the only artist currently signed to Ascensionism Records, a record label that supposedly belongs to the cult of the same name. His identity is unknown. Interesting.
So it's an artist.
That this is
It's an art project.
But was this an alias? Obtaining information on an actual Nick Lyons proves to be futile, at least for me, but his involvement thus far has led me to a theory.
Oh. Has it?
Thinking back, Nick Lyons has popped up all over the place, right under our nose. We see him on the cult-related YouTube channel, their official record label website, and according to Sputnik Music,
Sure.
he's the only artist currently signed to them. The thing is, it seems that this entire quote-unquote record label was illegitimate at best. Check this out.
Anyone can make something and call it a record label.
Each and every website connected to Ascension Records has gone offline.
I can make ADT Music Boys right now.
Very same Twitter profile from that Psycho Trip conversation. Before these went down, though, Mama Max was able to nab screenshots that would prove to be vital in where we're going with this. In
Oh,
his
yeah.
Kanye Quest video, he put on display the Who Is domain lookup for all of these various sites, and
Sure.
each name continually popped up. Lions. So let's clear the air. Was this record label and game actually tied to Ascensionism?
Probably not.
Not likely.
Yeah.
That isn't to say that Ascensionism isn't real, though, because, as a matter of fact, they are.
I don't think so. I don't think they're real either.
Here, it has its devoted followers and dates back to the very early 2000s,
Hmm.
potentially even further. Digging through their online footprint reveals numerous old internet websites and scholarly publications that contain various writings like the one that we touched on earlier. So how do these two connect? It seems that our mysterious uploader is the key to unlocking the safe that surrounds the answers to this mystery. But
It's just some art student.
and he mentions profiles
It's all probably fake.
surrounding this
All
person
done
are few
for like their senior art
As it turns
project.
out, the person behind the name had done this strategically, since the only results that I can find when looking this up are logos of Chinese restaurants, digital works of art, news articles surrounding Phoenix, Alabama,
And like the deal with Calypso was that, you know, it came out 3 years after,
that we've crossed paths with
uh,
thus far regarding Kanye Quest.
you know, like the game came out, Calypso came out 3 years after Kanye Quest, right? And people started discovering the shit in Kanye Quest 2 years after Kanye Quest came out. So the person, probably Nick Lyons, you know, saw his shit getting like, oh man, okay, that joke kind of thing that I added in Kanye Quest, it's getting a lot of stuff, so maybe I'll continue the mystery. And so they started putting together Calypso. And for some reason they're like, yeah, whatever, this isn't catching on. I don't like this. And they did, you know, they did a lot of work. They did, you know, they're recording the voices and stuff like that. I mean, it makes sense, because it's like, if it was an art project, right, and the person's like a legitimate like artist, and they were going for like oh yeah, I'm gonna make a video game, right? They went with RPG Maker, literally the easiest fucking thing. And if they were an artist, right, and they were really good at Photoshop, they could easily make all the fucking assets they needed in RPG Maker, and then throw it into RPG Maker. Literally just rename everything. The battle system works, all that shit. You just click things, and then and the game works. It's really fucking simple. You don't have to program at all if you know any knowledge about RPG Maker. So really simple. And so like I see it as, you know, someone trying to piggyback off of, you know, they had a lot of eyes on it at a certain time, and they're like, okay, well, let's keep the mystery going. And, you know, they put together Calypso seemingly quickly, just, you know, with some creepy sound clips in there. That's real easy to fucking do. And then no real meaning to the game. And, you know, maybe there was an intention to keep things going, but for whatever reason they decided not to. They moved on. They may be on other projects now. Nick Lyons might not even be the guy's real fucking name. It's just kind of the name that stuck out there. I mean, you can easily register a domain name in whatever name you want to. I mean, if he was really trying to hide, he would have done, like, you know, the protection stuff on the domains. So, you know what, my thought is that, again, art project, and I think I'm going to stick to that because I think that makes the most sense.
West. The Unfiction thread was dealing with a separate but similar investigation. The Tumblr page with the original game is locked. The RPG Maker page is taken down.
Sure. You can do all that.
Nick Lyons. Mr. Lyons is still active on the internet. I say
Sure.
this because right here is his Bandcamp. Clearly having an interest in the dark and occult underbelly of the internet. In my opinion, it seems like this guy is
Great.
the one behind this entire operation. Kanye Quest was made in RPG Maker, and it's not
VX Ace, I knew it.
He could have gone onto the site and made a video game of his own while concurrently setting everything else up.
Yeah.
What compelled him to do this, though, is something that I don't think I'll ever find the answer to.
Art project, dude.
Perhaps he's an ascensionist himself.
No.
Being tasked to recruit newfound and willing members for their cult operation.
I doubt it.
As we can recall from the Calypso voicemails, willing minds exist, and there are more of them out there than you think. So,
Yeah, I doubt it.
this is a letter to you, Nick Lyons. If your goal here was to recruit new ascensionists, then whether or not it worked is unclear. What did work, though, was the massive wave of attention that a cryptic and hidden ending brought your way. If you were the one that uploaded the game, if you were the one that created the pastebin document 2 years later, and if you were the one that was pulling the strings on Twitter, your numerous websites, and the YouTube channel, then I tip my hat to you, as you've created and subsequently discontinued one of the most compelling rabbit holes that the internet's seen in recent years.
All for shits and giggles. All for an A grade. Got to get that A in Art 465, whatever the fuck it may be.
Carries with it an insanely convoluted reservoir of information to unearth. What all seemed like an innocent and ordinary RPG had strung the...
Cause see, a lot of that stuff is like default shit, and a lot of that stuff is like, I've literally seen, you can go and pick up that shit, and then like the custom, you know, wrapper shit, you can easily make that shit in Photoshop.
Lack of any verifiable way to download the real copy of the game.
And then, you know, I just don't want any more attention.
It looks as if the mystery surrounding it being an actual recruitment tool is, at least as of now, slated to fade into the realm of online obscurity. Nick Lyons, if you're ever to return, then give me a sign.
He won't.
If the Tumblr password's out there, if there's a further purpose to Calypso, if you're an ascensionist, hell, if there's even a hint in your music, then throw us a bone. I mean, you did request our information in-game, and we gave it to you.
I think that's a joke. I think it's a joke. There's no way.
We'll be waiting.
Like, sure, it stores it into like local variables, but there's no way that
Thanks so much for watching. I'll hopefully
you throw those custom variables. Like, now that I think about it, there's no way that if you're not 100% like custom programming the shit, like if you're just doing the click and the click and drag and the add, the real easy click like style of mechanics that RPG Maker lets you do, like there's no way you can take those variables and you can put them in a script and shit them to like an endpoint and like an API to store that shit. So again, I think that's just a joke. There's no way that it actually sent something. Yeah, still sticking with art project.